therefore go. Well, what do we have here? You seem to be lost. Oh dear, don't worry, I'll take care of you. Wait, what? You're not here to be spooked? What? You're here to watch me debunk something? You do realize how silly you sound, right? It's Halloween and you don't want to be spooked. Are you scared? Don't worry, I would be too if I saw a spooky wizard. Ooh.
Should Christians celebrate Halloween? In this video, I'm going to talk about several of the sins associated with Halloween and why a Christian should not celebrate this evil day.
Evil day, you say? I don't really feel like there's much more evil during this day compared to any other day. Well, actually, if anything, there's more good, I guess. People are giving children free candy. Such generosity. If that isn't the opposite of evil, I don't know what is.
The first sin of Halloween is the sin of not thinking for yourself. The Bible tells us in Exodus 23:2, "Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil." Don't do evil just because everyone else is doing evil.
Alright, hang on there. I agree with the concept of not doing something just because the crowd is doing it, but you haven't even explained why Halloween is evil to begin with. If you can demonstrate that somehow this day is evil, I will concede. Let's continue on and see what you have to say.
Now think about this for a moment. Let's say that you had never heard of Halloween. And let's say you have someone on your street or in your neighborhood that on every October 31st, their yard is decorated with dead bodies, zombies, skeletons, a dead body that rises out of a casket, a mummy. What would you think of that person? Well, you would think they were weird. And if you were honest with yourself, you would think that they were satanic or worshiping Satan.
Well, no, not really. I would think they were weird, but I wouldn't think they're satanic. The reason your argument falls apart is that there wouldn't just be one house that did this. On October 31st, all the houses in the neighborhood would all do the same thing and decorate their houses with spooky things. In this case, I wouldn't call them all weird. Instead, I would say, hey, everyone's decorating their houses. What's the occasion? Or what event's going on? I would assume it's some sort of tradition that the people here engage in.
But you say, oh, come on. Everyone is doing it. Everyone celebrates Halloween. Is that what you want to teach your kids? Whatever everyone else does, you just follow along and do it too.
Wow, what a diversion you've put there. So you make an argument on why Halloween is evil, and then you justify it by introducing a new idea here about following the crowd? Alright, I'll keep up with you. I don't oppose the idea of thinking for yourself and not following the crowd, but you're talking about a specific thing here, Halloween, and why it shouldn't be celebrated by Christians. So you have to provide a specific reason as to why people shouldn't, quote, follow the crowd for this specifically. If I use the same logic here, I could say, hey, you shouldn't let your kids eat food to stay alive, because, you know, everyone else is doing it. And do you really want to teach your kids to follow whatever everyone else is doing? No, of course that argument doesn't work. Instead, you should provide exactly what is wrong with Halloween and argue from there.
The second sin of Halloween is the glorification of death, darkness, and evil. Proverbs 8:36 says, "But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death." What is the fascination about death with Halloween? Halloween glorifies death. It's all about death.
Okay, so we're finally getting to why Halloween is evil. I wouldn't say it's all about death. The origins of this holiday more so involved people giving offerings to the owl she to ensure that the people and livestock survived the winter. It was more to do with prayer than death, but even so, Halloween has lost its original meaning. It is now a holiday to be celebrated, especially by children, where friends can meet up, party, and go trick-or-treating. Other than dead things like skeletons being used for decorations and costumes, there really isn't anything else related to death.
Halloween also glorifies darkness. All throughout the Bible, God describes things that are good as being light, and everything that is bad is an example of darkness.
Halloween only takes place in the darkness because it's part of its theme. Things are scarier when the environment is darker. Just because an activity is performed in darkness doesn't mean it's evil in some way. If we're going to go by your logic, then sleeping is bad, and you shouldn't do it because it is done in the darkness. Or even just watching horror movies is bad because it, quote-unquote, glorifies darkness.
At nighttime, people do bad things. 1 Thessalonians 5:7 says, "For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night."
Okay, so he goes on a little bit about Bible verses, saying how evil things happen during the night and don't happen during the day, which honestly sounds like cherry picking to me, but whatever, let's get on to the next main argument.
And the third sin of Halloween is glorification of fear. 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind." As you study the Bible, you will find that the only thing that we are supposed to fear is God Himself. The Bible constantly tells us to fear God and to fear the Lord. Every other time that fear is mentioned, it is a negative thing.
Really? Then why did God make fear so pleasurable? Every Halloween, you see tons and tons of people lining up to walk through haunted houses or watching horror movies. Why do people do this if fear is so bad? Apparently, God made it so that fear is enjoyable. We enjoy being scared, we enjoy the feeling of danger. It has even been shown directly how the emotion of fear creates pleasure in the brain, even simulating the feeling of being in love. Which, by the way, is why having a little scare with your lover can do your relationship good. In this case, why did God implement this? If He wanted to make fear so bad, why make it pleasurable? I want you to answer that.
The only fear that God ever tells you to have is to fear Him. We shouldn't fear anything else but Him, for God hath not given us the spirit of fear. Halloween glorifies fear.
Right. God made it so that you should only fear Him. And how is this a positive thing, by the way? Oh no, experiencing this emotion towards something is bad. Unless, of course, it's God. Then it's good for some reason.
Think about it. You have all the haunted houses in which the whole purpose is to scare you and make you fearful. You have all the scary costumes. The so-called best Halloween costumes are the scariest costumes. All the horror movies. It's all about glorifying fear. When you celebrate Halloween, you are taking your fear, which belongs to God, and you are giving it to the devil.
I don't know how you jumped to that conclusion. How does being scared of costumes in haunted houses equate to fearing the devil?
And the fourth sin of Halloween is the appearance of evil. 1 Thessalonians 5:22 says, "Abstain from all appearance of evil." If you participate or celebrate Halloween in any way, you are putting your stamp of approval on the whole thing.
Okay, well, in that case, is it okay as long as you dress as something not evil? For example, if you dressed as a transformer, would that be okay? Well then, alright, I'm dressed as a wizard. Is that okay?
So the sins of Halloween, you have the sin of not thinking for yourself, the glorification of death, darkness, and evil, the glorification of fear, and the appearance of evil. So, should Christians celebrate Halloween? The answer is an obvious no.
Alright, so I overall don't really care what Christians do in Halloween as long as they don't murder people or whatnot. If you don't want to celebrate Halloween for whatever reason, I'm not gonna pull your ear and force you to participate. Overall, the reasons for not celebrating Halloween due to whatever the Bible says, to me, doesn't seem like good reasons. If you're a Christian, I'm sure God wouldn't mind if you had a little fun with your kids. Grab your bag, get some candy, enjoy yourself, and get spooked a little. Ooh.